Bitsy?
Okay. Kind of random, but I noticed through the book you just had all these sexual fantasies about Wendy and other things, but the speaker never took action, like it never seemed to do anything sexually himself. And then it culminated in him with the Frosty in the bathroom, like you read. Did you mean for that to just him never openly expressing like himself doing sexual things and then culminating in it, or did that just kind of happen?
Yeah, there's it's interesting to think of that one as a culmination.
Well, it's towards the end.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the idea. It's a good word too.
But also, isn't the lactose and just speaker's lactose intolerant too?
Yeah, that was nice.
To be fucking the process that's meaningful that way, also.
Profoundly meaningful. Yeah, I guess to me probably the loneliness or the solitude of the book is key, and why any effort that anytime the character has any kind of interaction with other people, it's usually comical and like doomed to misunderstanding, or so there's a term in the psychology for a particular type of person called a schizotypal. Schizotypal. Anybody study psychology? Yeah. You know schizotypal?
I today.
You have what?
I have a midterm on that today.
Oh, really? So what's a schizotypal?
It's part of the odd eccentric category. No, it's part of the. I don't know. I'm not
Good luck in your midterm.
There's schizotypal and there's schizoid, and they differ slightly in terms of what kind of category they're in.
Yeah. For schizotypal, on your test, just write Trekkie. That's schizotypal. It's like somebody who's just like one of these people you meet who's just bizarre, but who seems not to get that they're bizarre. I mean, you meet strange people who understand that they're bizarre, but then other people who, like I had this guy in the class I was teaching in community college, who like, he would want to write all his papers based on the Star Trek principle of, what is the basic Star Trek principle of not interfering with other cultures? Anybody know? Like, the Prime Directive or something? Something like that.
That's not, I think that's right.
So he would talk to me about the Prime Directive all the time, like without irony, or he just,
With full sincerity.
So, yeah, but there's this character's in the direction of, or I guess if the character differs from me to the extent that it's me trying to imagine myself, like if I had grown up in a situation more deprived in terms of opportunity, or I just tried to imagine a guy who was really bright, but in some kind of weird situation, like maybe living with his mother who gets disability checks or something, and he's kind of in a poor section of the city and doesn't really get how to do anything, but just passes his days walking down to the Wendy's, going home, and really being in torment about being disconnected in this way, but not being able to do anything about it. And I'm sure there are many people like that. So that was kind of the idea, I think.
And then off the wall, you talk about Frosties a lot in your book. Have you been to Wendy's recently and seen the new Twisteds? I know I mentioned that in our class earlier. It's like a McFlurry, but Wendy's version of the like a frosty with like Oreos or like chocolate chips in it.
Well, I am truly lactose intolerant, so I really
Oh, so
don't.
you can't enjoy this at all.
don't. Yeah. Also fat, and so I try to avoid ice cream because it's fattening. It's terrible.
All my other ones were asked.
Okay, so some of the letters hold shock value because of the juxtaposition of certain images. Like in the April 9th letter, you say it's a time for leaving babies on stoops, and then you say it's a time for relaxation. And I was wondering if this juxtaposition is intentional and what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah, it's kind of, that one is kind of like, that one's a good one, like in terms of thinking about that question. Like because it seems very cruel or irresponsible. And I guess what I was trying to get at was like, that's something that the book concerns in a way the problem of having to feel worried and responsible about everything, or the problem to, like, how do you get permission to really pursue, you know, Joseph Campbell has that idea to pursue your bliss or something, you know, this idea. So I don't know, I think he says pursue or follow your bliss or something. But if you really follow your bliss, this can be, you know, lead to real problems. You know, it's a dangerous thing to do. But I think I was trying to give the character permission to, I think if one of the things about being in a situation that's devastated is that it gives you a kind of permission. You become more free in a certain, like, if you're in having nothing to, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose, that kind of idea.
Chris reference.
Yeah. So, you know, if you get into a desperate enough situation, if you're dying, you at this point aren't, you know, you start to like think about things differently and the way you pursue your satisfaction. So leaving babies on stoops is like just a wild, it's like, you know, just, I once talked to a priest after a wedding. He was, or I wasn't talking to him, I was sitting there, and he was talking to people, and he was saying, the shortest prayer that there is fuck it. What he meant was like that when you say fuck it, it's like you're just saying it's in God's hands now. You know? Like, and that's kind of, there's that impulse in the book, I think, that the character in being kind of